So, we in that new year, new me season.
Yes.
But a lot of us still have some of the same goals from 2023. And a lot of y'all, and I know for sure because y'all came up to me and asked,
You
a
did.
lot of y'all wanted to start a podcast.
Yes.
I got good news for you, player. Spotify for podcasts is here for every need you have.
We've been using Spotify for podcasters since we started our podcast. It's so easy. You literally record, edit, and upload all from your phone, your computer. So no matter what your setup looks like, you can start now.
Yes, get your conversations, your opinion, your views out to the world. People need to hear you.
You can distribute your podcast to Spotify and anywhere else that podcasts are heard.
With Spotify for podcasters, you can earn money in a multitude of ways. Ads or podcast subscriptions. I mean, it's an easy way to get your visions out to the world and earn some extra pocket change.
Yeah, my favorite thing about all of this is free 99.
Yes. They don't charge you a dime. So you really got nothing holding you back. Today, not tomorrow, today. Let's be heard. Spotify for podcasters.
Let's be seen. Welcome back to another episode of For the Healthy Host podcast, where we talk about mindful living, intentionality, self-awareness. Like, I almost had it, bro. We talk about mindful living, intentionality, and self-awareness, and everything else in between. I'm your host, Ree, and I really, really appreciate you for allowing me to be a part of your journey and joining me here on this beautiful day. Okay, I always feel like I'm actually getting better, but I always feel like I'm so anxious and nervous whenever I'm about to talk to y'all and do this little podcast situation. So I decided I want to start a new ritual. A little while ago, maybe even like a year ago, my friend Brianna and I actually interviewed her for our magazine, but we had a conversation. We talked about a lot of things. I love her, but one thing in particular that we talked about was weed. And my experience with weed has not been the greatest. Like, I always found that I become way more anxious, and I literally had a panic attack one time while I was high. So I was just like, no. But Brianna, owner of Moss Medicine, has these herbal smokes, and she actually sent me one, and I've already tried it. And let me tell you, baby, fire. So I think it's called Cloud 11, or maybe it's called Cloud 9. I'm not sure. I think it's Cloud 11 though. But basically what these are, they're infused with blue lotus. And blue lotus really helps with anxiety and depression, and it also helps to heighten your state of awareness and consciousness. A lot of people like to drink blue lotus tea when they're about to meditate, or when they really want to hone in on the present moment. So that's what I'm trying to do, baby. Okay. So I'm about to light up my blue lotus, and this lasts for a really long time. The pack lasts for a really long time. And the thing about it, you don't need a lot of you don't need to hit it a whole bunch of times. That's just not called for. That's what we're doing. We are lighting up our blue lotus. Let's mark this down as a new ritual for our podcast. Get you a cup of tea or a herbal smoke or weed, whatever fancies you, okay? But me, I'm lighting up this blue lotus. And I have to remind myself, like I just said, that you don't need that many hits, sis. Because out of habit, out of comfort, I will keep puffing this shit, So I'm going to stop right there so I don't overdo it. But what I do love about this is that you don't get anxious. It literally does the opposite. So yeah. So now that we have our little podcast ritual out of the way, today we're going to be talking about social media. I feel like I'm always talking about social media, whether it be, internal dialogue, a conversation with my partner, on my YouTube channel, talking about social media, on social media, it is my job. So it's literally always on the top of my brain. You know what I mean? But here lately, I feel like my views on social media has changed quite a bit. Like, we get on social media and we take everything like face first. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've learned to just take everything with a grain of salt. We put so many emotions behind and meaning behind like a single post from a stranger. We make up these things about these strangers in our head, whether it's good or bad. You know what I mean? If you said you don't make up or have these assumptions about people that you follow on social media, you're lying. You're lying. And whether the narrative is true or not, that's something that we need to stop doing. We need to stop creating assumptions for strangers that we follow on social media. I have been learning to just take everything with a grain of salt, like not take everything so seriously, because honestly, y'all, it's really not that deep. And even as a creator, which is like obviously the viewpoint that I'm speaking from today, even as a creator, I've had to really learn how to navigate the app. I've been creating content on social media for probably like 7 years now, and I find myself on there way more than I need to be, like way too often. Sometimes even going on there out of habit. Like, I was supposed to do something else on my phone, but somehow, some way, I ended up on Instagram. Like, wait, what? But that's just habit. Like, habits are things that you don't even have to think about, whether they're positive or negative. You don't even have to think about something when it is a habit. You don't have to think about it. And for a while, I found myself doing that. But these apps were created to consume us, right? Consume us, connect us, inspire us. They were created to be a form of expression for us. And I found myself in a space where I was blaming social media for like my lack of productivity, or why I'm getting like stuck in the matrix. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I heard on, I forgot what the documentary is called, but a while ago, everybody was like going crazy about this social media documentary. I forgot what it's called, but I watched a little bit of it. I really didn't even watch all of it. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I just really couldn't get into it for real back then. But a guy on the documentary was just saying, like, if an app is free, if a product is free, then you are the product. Like, these social media apps do make money off of us. It's their job to study our habits and people who we follow so they can create an algorithm for us that we like. Honestly, like, your social media feed is really a reflection of you at the end of the day. Like, no matter if you hate it, if you love your feed, it's the reflection of you. These apps literally mimic what you're doing and present it in front of you. Like, period. That's what it is. I say all that to say, like, we get to a point where we're blaming social media. Like, I've heard so many people talk so negatively about social media. Social media is not the problem. Social media is not your enemy. You are. You are your own enemy. And if you find yourself constantly mindlessly scrolling, whether you're a creator or you just want to have fun on the app, whatever the case may be, if you find yourself wasting tons and tons of time on these apps, it's because you're running away from something in your real life. Okay? Reference our previous episode about escapism. It's because you're running away from something in your real life. Okay? I feel like it depends on where you are in your journey, but one of the main things that we talk about here is acknowledgement and self-awareness. And sometimes we're at a space in our journey where we're blaming everything on everyone else, when really we the problem. If we want to fix something in our life, it's up to us. We're the only thing that's standing in our way. Like, you are literally standing in your own way, sis. Social media is not the enemy. You are. Listen to me. You are. Whatever's going on, sit down, work on it, work it out. Be honest with yourself. Like I said, reference our previous episode on escapism. Like, write it out, talk it out, because it's you. Earlier I mentioned that these apps were created to keep you on the app, and that is very true. But at the end of the day, the power is in your hands. You literally have the mental space, the physical power to not do shit you don't want to do. Like, you know what I mean? You really just have to focus on it, hone in on it, be present, and you can do whatever you want, like big or small. Like, and that's just that on that. But at the end of the day, there's so much like positivity surrounding social media and like the online connection. Like, I'm literally talking to y'all right now because of social media, because of the World Wide Web. Like, you know what I mean? You have to acknowledge that. And we have to get outside of ourselves and get out of the matrix and stop blaming social media for our real life problems. Because like I said before, you know, it's useless. You're the problem and you need to dig deeper. But something I've been trying to do is focus on the good within social media and use it like the tool that it is. Like, tool, that is the key word. Tool. Social media can be amazing if you allow it to be. It can do amazing things for your life if you allow it to. You just have to use it as a tool and develop healthy boundaries with it. Over the past month or so, I have been not perfecting, but working on my relationship with, first of all, myself. That's always an ongoing process. But also, like, one of the major things is social media, because like I said before, this is my job and I want this to continue to be my job. And I don't want to be sad or depressed or start hating it or burned out. So I've decided to set some healthy boundaries up with social media, my work, my job that I love so much, so it doesn't feel like a job. But again, boundaries, because we don't want burnout. So I'm going to share a few things that has been helping me out with this journey. One thing is out of sight, out of mind. When I read Atomic Habits, James Clear talked about this a lot. Like, if you can't see it, you're probably not even gonna think about it. Like, sometimes I even go so far as like deleting the app off my phone. You don't have to do that, but I will delete Instagram in a minute. Like, anybody who know me know I don't play, and I will delete Instagram and act like it fell off the face of the earth. If I feel like I need, some time, I will do whatever is necessary. But a lot of times I just move my phone out of my face. Like, it don't be within arm's reach, especially when I'm trying to do work or, work on myself. And another thing, like, I try not to. I haven't been very good at it lately, and I'm also trying to be patient with myself with it as well. Because once you start developing a habit, it's kind of hard to break, whether it's good or bad. But I don't like to wake up and get on my phone, y'all. Like, I don't have time to wake up and give my mind one of the most precious things, if not the most precious thing. Give my mind to the world and see what everybody else is doing. And for me, a lot of times, it's not even really seeing what everybody else is doing. It's checking my messages, seeing if anyone has left a comment. Do I have any new followers? You know what I mean? Just little stuff like that is mainly what I am looking at. But even that, like, I don't want that to be the first thing that I think about or do in the morning, because I don't want my value or self-worth to be determined on, the messages, the comments, the likes. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But the next thing is, like, time screen limits. And I know you can hit ignore. But after a while, you're going to get tired of hitting ignore. You're going to start feeling, like, okay, like, what's going on, sis? But I definitely set those on my phone. Yeah, and I can't even lie. Like, y'all know we get that weekly screen time reporting, baby. Your girl be so happy when it be like, your time screen has decreased 50%. And I mean, like, yeah. But at the same time, especially when you're a creator, you really can't rely on, like, the screen time, because today I've been recording a reel, but it was productive work. You know what I mean? So when necessary, put a screen limit on, or a time limit on screen time. and replace that like screen time with real life stuff like reading, going for a walk, spending time with family, painting, joy rides, movement, a new hobby, y'all. I got hella film cameras that I haven't really used like that, but that's a hobby that I've had these cameras for like years, and I'm not even lying. And it's something that I've been wanting to get into previously. You know, I feel like I really didn't have the time, but now my time is opening up, and I'm getting really good at managing this whole work for yourself shit. So I'm really excited to get into film and then get back painting again, because I love to paint. I feel like this app is a great way to like showcase your art, whatever your art may be. Like the sky is literally the limit when it comes to expressing yourself and sharing your art with the world when on social media. But at the same time, like sometimes we just want to get on there and scroll. You know what I mean? So scheduling a particular time for scrolling, whether it be for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you know, you just want to see what everybody up to, because I feel like if I'm on social media, and I want to curate a feed of people that I follow that inspire me. So I'm excited to get on there. You know what I mean? Like I remember one time Travis got on my feed, like on my Instagram account, and he was like, wow, like you really follow artists. Like I consider myself an artist. I consider like if you do it, it ain't even if. I was gonna say if you do it the right way, but whatever. Like if you're a social media, like if you're a content creator, that's art. That's a form of art. And I follow a lot of content creators. I follow a lot of literal artists, fashion designers. Like the people who I follow are creatives, and they inspire the shit out of me. So I highly encourage you to create a feed of people who inspire you, which I kind of got away from my previous point, which was to schedule a particular time for scrolling, so you like had that shit out the way. But my next point is literally to cleanse and unfollow people you don't find inspiring. Like this account, this Instagram account that I have right now is not my original Instagram account. Like I had an account when I was in college, you know, and really active in my sorority, and I follow like all of the, like it was just like basically a college Instagram. And I was at a point where I think I had graduated. I can't remember if I had graduated yet. I actually don't think I had graduated yet, college yet. But I wanted to start creating content and sharing my art online. And I felt like the followers that I had wouldn't be super receptive to the type of content that I was going to be creating. So I deleted that account and I created a new account, and I followed people who were like me, who inspired me, and who I like looked up to. And yeah, I've been rocking with this account ever since, and I've been able to grow it. So that's another thing. Like if you're like an artist, don't be afraid to start over. Like I've started over even on YouTube. Like this ain't even my first channel. I've started over. I found like a new purpose and a new passion, and it has been growing indefinitely. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to unfollow people, mute people. If you feel like they're not bringing value to you or peace to your life, unfollow them. Like, period. Like, it's just business, babes. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. I will mute you. I will unfollow you. I don't care. So another thing is being like super intentional when it comes to my time on social media. Not even my time, like my reason. Like I said before, we have this habit of unconsciously tapping Instagram or TikTok or whatever your social media of choice is. Like we unconsciously tap. So I've gotten to the point where I'm like, all right, you getting on here, why for? What's the reason? Why do you need to be on here right now? And sometimes it may actually be, oh, I got to respond to this brand. Oh, I want to respond to comments. And sometimes it might be like, shit, I just want to get on here and scroll, like for recreational purposes. So, and that's okay. Like you have to just be honest with yourself and be intentional. Be intentional. I feel like we've gotten to the point where we're all so motivated and driven by like likes and engagement and comments and you know what I mean? And I feel like we're at a point where, well, some of us, and I've been there before, but thank God I'm out of that space. But I feel like that can kind of determine our like self-worth and our value. And you may be like, shit, I don't want to post this because it ain't even gonna get a lot of likes like that, or this ain't gonna be engaging like that. But one thing about it, regardless of how many likes I get on a post, if I felt good about that post, if I felt proud about that post, I don't care about anything else. And if I felt like just one person benefited from that and I'm providing value to my audience, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't care. And it takes a while to get to this space because, you know, and honestly, I'm really happy they have like the like you can hide your likes and stuff now, especially artists. Like, because when you're an artist, you're really sensitive about your shit. Like, you are sensitive about your shit, period. But at the end of the day, when you create from a place of love and abundance, y'all know I use that word, like abundance is my word, so get used to it. But when you create from a place of love and abundance, nothing else really matters. And you don't really have to worry about anything. Yeah, like, because off top, you already know you are adding value to somebody else's life. And yeah, on that note, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the podcast here. I'm going to leave a Q&A little thingy on like Spotify so you guys can talk to me, because I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. But I just want to know, like, what are your biggest struggles when it comes to social media, or like as like I was gonna say a regular person, but like we all regular people, but like as a user of the app, like what is your biggest struggle? And even as a like creative on the app, what do you find is your biggest struggle? Yeah, I also want to know, like, what do you find easily comes to you? There we go. When it comes to social media, and like, what's your favorite part about it? Let's continue this conversation either on, you know, our little reel that we're going to be posting, or on the Q&A that I'll have attached to this little post. Anywho, I am signing off. I love you guys. It's been fun. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I hope everything positive comes your way, and I hope you get everything you want. Yeah. Y'all, I'm really feeling this Blue Lotus right now. The Lotus is hitting. It's hitting, okay? Anyways, I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all next week. Bye.